Do these 5 things to get over a toxic relationship. I know toxic relationships can be petrifying, so drastic. It feels like sometimes even an out-of-body experience, and we feel like we can be so alone. And I hope if you are going through this, that you find some comfort just getting some of these tips in this video. I want to share something too with you, not only about myself, but a little bit about why this is so important. Toxic relationships help us even in the moments they feel like they don't. I've been in plenty of toxic relationships, and I will tell you that those were the number one relationships that taught me a lot about life, and also to be here being a certified coach and guiding so many other people through relationships. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I welcome you. My name is Apollonia Ponti. I'm a dating, relationship, and life coach for men. I help men not only master their dating lives, but also live a great life and master their lives themselves. Now let's dive in. And before we get started, I want you to download something that's going to continue to help you even after this video. It's completely free. It's my 9 signs you're in a toxic relationship ebook. I want you to read through that and benefit from that and do those activities if this is calling to you and you're going through that right now. All right. So I'm going to try to bring in some humor a little bit, hopefully in this video, because it is a heavy topic, but I also want to bring some comfort to you as well. So number 1 is you have to be kind to yourself. Understand that this takes time, even if you did make the mistake. And many times what I've seen when I coach clients out of the toxic relationships and start to begin their healing, one of the biggest things that I tell my clients is, you would have never found me. You never would have got coaching. You never would have got therapy to work on everything else that brought you to this relationship if you never went through this. And that's a really big eye-opening. You never would have found a video and really turned to your own personal development if it wasn't for this toxic relationship. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself and stop being shameful about why did you do this? Why did you get into this? Like, listen, humans are not perfect. And I think that you have to understand that life is a discovery. And as long as we discover things about ourselves and commit to the lessons, there's less and less discoveries that become heavier. They're just more discoveries that are different, but they're not amplified to this much. So be kind to yourself. Do self-dates for yourself. Be around people that you enjoy. And also, too, do not sit and wonder and sit in your thoughts so long about why you made a mistake. Shame on you, comparing yourself to other people on social media and going down that spiral. If you're doing this now, stop everything you're doing and stop doing that, okay? And start doing things that are going to lift you up. Number 2, this is a hard one. So forgiving yourself, which walks into number 1, but also forgiving that other person as well. Like, honestly, you aren't an angel. Even if your name is Angel, you're not an angel. And so what's important is to understand that forgiving yourself is necessary in life. We're allowed to mess up. We're allowed to make mistakes. And if you know that you're allowed to do it, but stop making the same mistake, is where you're going to grow in life. And so forgiving yourself is the first note. Forgiving yourself for what you did in this relationship, who you became in this relationship, what put you in this relationship in the first place, and getting out of the victim and putting blame on everything else, because you are only responsible for your own behaviors. And then also too, forgiving the other person. This other person could have abused you, could have done something wrong to you. I get it. And it's hard to sometimes forgive them. Forgiveness to the other person does not mean that you are letting them back into your life. I want you to picture it like this. You can close your eyes with me if you want, but when you have anger in you, you are still connected to that other person somehow. Forgiving that person cuts that cord of anger, basically, and you are no longer connected to that person. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is letting go of that person and showing up for that lesson. So you can forgive that person for what they did because that's all they knew, and that's what they were able and capable to show up for, because that's typically the truth. Number 3 is turn to personal development, getting better. Walk through your emotions. Many times my men that I coach, they're very successful and they just want to work. And then they come home and they rest their head at night and they just pass out because they're so exhausted. So because they're avoiding it. But then what happens months later is they start to have sex with multiple women, become unfulfilled, or get in the same toxic relationships, or have anxiety come up, or start to get depression. And so then that's when they'll start to contact me, and we have to go back like weeks and months. And I'm like, okay, so you never walked through your emotions with this woman, and it's possible a toxic relationship that you found yourself in. You just avoided, and you constantly avoid because this is your protection mechanism. So what's really important is not to sit in your emotions, but walk through your emotions, finding support, being here with me like you are, turning to maybe one of my me getting coached with me or anybody that I've been as a trained coach under me. But also too, a thing that you want to develop is getting support, a community support. I have a membership community with hundreds of men inside, and they support each other, and we have weekly calls in there. It's literally only $37. If you need the support, I am here for you. I would encourage you to do that. This is men that came out of toxic relationships, in toxic relationships, flourishing in life. We have men all over the world. Number 4 is don't expect closure. This is the biggest mistake I see so many people doing in toxic relationships is they're going back and they're expecting closure. I don't believe in closure all the time, depending on the situations, and I would have to know it, but 90% of the times I don't believe in closure. Closure is the breakup and why you guys broke up. Many times we want closure because we're still trying to hang on to the comfort. And many times when we're in toxic relationships, it's a trauma bonding experience. So it feels familiar. And so you go back to it because it's quote unquote comfort. Let me explain this. Trauma bonding, and I have a video about trauma bonding. I'll put it up here in the cards. Trauma bonding is something that we've experienced as children. So something you've experienced as a child, maybe in your upbringing with your family, parents, and so on. And so it's not been worked on. It's not be healed. This is your inner subconscious thinking this is what you deserve. And you find it in a confirmation bias when you go out looking for it in relationships that attract that same feeling, different scenarios. Maybe it's abandonment, maybe it's something else. Those same feelings in that scenario when you were a little girl or boy, and you're going into relationships that have this experience, underlying experience in them, and you stay in these relationships because the inner child in you is used to this experience. And so you subconsciously think in some level that it's normal. So what you do is you're connected to this person because you want closure, but it's really comfort of not letting go because it feels familiar. And in order to break it, this is where therapy and coaching need to come in. And this is where meditation, breath work really helps with your awareness to see all of this if you can't even see it. And this is something I do in my community. I have so many things that I offer for men. But I want you to understand that number 5 is what we were talking about, is being a part of a strong support group, especially men supporting men. There is many men's groups, but I think that more men need to support each other. More men need to develop friendships in a community. And that's why I developed the Men's Mastery community, is because this VIP community is a group of hundreds of men that come together, have private Facebook groups, share their thoughts, meet up. There's so many things that happen. We have guests that come in. I do weekly calls with them, Q&As. They have lives with me all the time, and they know I'm in their back pocket whenever they need me. And this community has been built on so many amazing men that actually go out, talk to women that are dating guys in relationships, finding friendships, and it's a beautiful thing. So I want you to be open to that if it's something that you need some support in, but also to build a part of you outside of this toxic relationship. A lot of times we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves as self in a relationship. So what do you want to do? If you have a lot of anger and resentment in you, go to a kickboxing class, go to boxing, get those emotions on a bag, get them out. They need to go somewhere. When was the last time you stopped and actually took a full breath? Do you know how much calmness comes over us when we do that? Anxiety lives within our breath sometimes. And so all of these emotions that you feel is sometimes because it's so heavy in your chest and shoulders. And 90% of the men that I coach don't even breathe. They breathe, they breathe to keep them alive, obviously, but they don't breathe consciously, right? They breathe just because it's a part of how they exist, and they know, that body knows that's how they keep them alive. But their breaths are so short. So if you want to get better in relationships, I have so many opportunities for you to do so. So I want you to really download that 9 signs of your toxic relationship. And also, if you want to start attracting your dream woman, I have a free training that you can do because I want to constantly be here to support you. The free training is how to attract your dream woman. You can click the link below, sign up for that free training for you, and take it. It is an amazing training that I'm going to continue to support you in, and I cannot wait to see you in that free training. And if this is your first time visiting, I welcome you to subscribe to this channel and comment below and let me know this is your first time visiting or that you just subscribe. Or for my viewers, comment below and I will be more than happy to support you. As always, I'll see you in the next video, and remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.